Thanks very much indeed, John. It's a great pleasure to be here and to be helping issue the awards. It's just a wonderful organisation, because one of the things that the world evidently needs more of is campaigners, and I guess some of us who've been doing it for some time kind of become accustomed to doing this particular set of activities that lead us to create change. But it's not something we can take for granted. It does need people to be nurtured, to be given the confidence and the skills to be effective campaigners. And so this organisation, I think, is doing a great service for all of our society in helping that process. I was in a conversation with a journalist yesterday about some of the work I've been doing over many, many years. And he asked me how I can possibly be optimistic in the face of what we now see coming down the track in the latter part of this century in terms of impacts on the climate, on the loss of biodiversity and depletion of natural resources. He said, how can you possibly be optimistic? And my answer to that was, well, because things change. And when I began my career as an environmentalist, the world was not as green or as aware as it now is. Certainly we've got a long, long way to go, but I think in looking forward, it's quite important to look back. And if you can see the incredible achievements over the last 20 years on ozone depletion, on acid rain, on the protection of different natural habitats, the phase out of some of the worst chemicals, the cleaning up of our air and water, plus the rising of awareness and behaviour change that's going on, which you can see in a whole range of different ways, you realise actually we're not in a static place. We are making progress. And if you look back at all those things that have been enacted in law and the changes that have occurred with some of the big companies that are now going in better directions, you pretty much always find a campaign preceding the change that occurred. So the reason to be optimistic, I think, is because there's campaigners out there, people who are determined to create change even on some of these huge challenges that lie in front of us.